Okay, hey guys, it's me, Reality with Kristen Marie. I am live on YouTube right now. Me and this little baby kitten right here. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. This might be a little bit long because I'm going to do Ultimate Girls Trip because there's been 4 episodes out so far, and I'm not going to do the entire episodes, but I want to give some of the points. And I see people coming in, so thank you for that. So better I have. There. Yeah. So let's see who's in the chat. Nobody yet. Okay. Well, if you haven't subscribed, get subscribed now, please. And also, the chat is live, so I am going to drop the link, like probably halfway through. So if anybody wants to call, they can do that. We can chat. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Let me check the mic actually. Hold on. Working, mic's working. Okay. Sorry about the fan. Obviously, it's not summertime, but it is 77 degrees today. And yeah, so I have the fans on. And hey, Shay, how's it sound with my fan? Is it too loud? Or do I sound all right? And have you been watching Ultimate Girls Trip? Because it's so freaking good, guys. Oh my god, it's so freaking good. Let me know what you guys think. I'm trying to give you guys a couple more minutes, but we have to start soon. Let's get the chapstick. Hold on. Or no, lip gloss. Lip gloss. Oh, sorry, kitty. Okay. It sounds all right? Cool. Thank you. Cool. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's too loud. I'm telling you, I cannot wait to get Central Layer back in this house. Okay. So, what did you guys think about Ultimate Girls Trip? I think it's freaking phenomenal. The only thing I'm annoyed with is Heather Gay, and we're gonna talk about Heather Gay because I feel like if we do, it's like giving into the child tantrum that like giving into her tantrum and giving her what she wants because all she wants to do is drag on Black Eye Gate and the whole Jen Shaw thing. She's still going to bat for her. I mean, I think the chick's like she's not going yet, but you would think that Heather Gay, being a Housewife super fan and reading the Housewife fan book before she, Housewife handbook before she got on the show, that she would realize that the viewers, us content creators, if you piss us off, like, and drag it out, I mean, we will really, literally, probably just like come for your head, like off with your head, like we do with everybody else that pisses us off right now. But I mean, it's at this point, it's like not even that she's pissing me off; she just sucks. She just really freaking sucks. But how do I hold this? All right, kitty. All right, let's get into this recap here. Isn't she awesome? I know. What are you doing? Let me kiss the kids. Look at your friend go. Are you ready? You better not. Yeah, stay right there. You're comfy. Okay, we get comfy. She's not as small as when she was a kid. Come here, don't leave me. Don't leave. You're really leaving. Okay. All right. And she's awesome. Okay. So this thing. Oh, of course, my towel isn't. Sure. Okay. So, like I said, I'm not going to go into every single part of every episode, but just going to hit the important parts because, all right. First of all, I totally forgot about 3. I remember we were talking about 4, and we had all the controversy with 4, and I didn't even remember about 3. At one point, when I was trying to talk about the trailer for 4, and I was trying to figure out what season it was, I literally was like, I had to search it because I thought I missed a season. And then I realized it didn't air this one yet, but now that they did, it's freaking gold. Now, what it seems like to me is because of who it is. It's like this season's hey girl or guy. I don't even know. I feel like these housewives, like the franchises that we're watching, are just ended, and so they kind of rolled right into Ultimate Girls Trip. So the issues that we were fighting about on their seasons, we're fighting about now, right? I mean, and like this is another crazy thing. How did they get to go to Thailand? What was it? Thailand, Morocco, or wait, what was the first one? Far away, right? And then Dorinda's house. And then now they're like in Thailand. You know what I'm saying? Like, why was it Dorinda's house? Like, I don't get it. Like, what happened there? I know. Well, see, this is the thing. Thank you for clarifying. I don't like to really ask, but then again, it's like, you guys know what I look like, and sometimes I don't know what you guys look like. That proves the problem in New York. It really kind of did. It was like, I didn't know who anybody was, but, so, yeah. Now, before we even get there, I'm watching Candace and Giselle talk on the phone, and I'm like, wait a minute. You guys just stopped filming 2 days ago, the reunion. We saw what was happening there. And they're like, having a little kickies on the phone. I understand that they're going to be like, traveling together, but it's like, I don't know. The shit that they were talking about, the shit that with Chris was like too much for me. Like, I don't know. I guess if you have to travel with somebody, but now Portia, we have Portia coming in, and I didn't know that she, like her show, the Portia show that she had that they, not that they didn't cancel it, but she basically said she was done with reality TV. And the fact that she said that the producers edited her pretty bad in her show, that she was going to get that she was going to redeem herself, and I think she did. I mean, but of course, there's always no time getting shady, because as soon as we get there, she starts talking and grilling Heather about the Jen Shaw situation and the black eye situation. And of course, as soon as she says it, I'm like, are we really? Oh my God. So not only we're running right back into Black Eye Gate, we're talking about Jen Shaw, of course. Of course, Heather has a chance to even put her bags down. And Giselle wants to ask her, well, she wants to stop Candace from discreetly running her roommates, dude. Seriously, about Candace. But of course she's shady. But when Giselle walks in and Candace walks in, she has that look on her face. And of course, she says to Heather, I read your book. No, Heather said, I read your book about Leah being sober, and then asked her if we should get her number, something like that. That whole thing was like, I don't know. If it was with Leah, I kind of like, I feel like her sobriety is important, but I don't know why you would go on a show like this. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do it. It's not any fun, but I don't know. It just seems like Heather wasn't taking it seriously, and I really feel like everything that Heather's saying right now is like literally, it's not landing. It doesn't land with anybody. Not at all, like, especially with Whitney. Now, again, she's still not taking any accountability for her and Whitney. When Whitney gets there, Whitney is trying to act like everything's going to be okay. But you want to have a conversation with Heather, and she's still trying to explain to her that her feelings are hurt. And it's like Heather has no room for, like, she didn't do anything wrong, basically. She said that basically that Whitney used the show because she got nervous that Justin lost his job. So Whitney needed a storyline, so she made up this whole thing with Heather, and that was the storyline. Not that she actually did hurt her feelings, not that they were actually on a friendship break. It's like, again, Heather has not paid attention to the blogs because we are seriously not with you. Like, we're just not. And I feel like if it wasn't for them already filming this, I don't think they would have had her on the show. And do I think she's coming back to Salt Lake? Of course she's coming back to Salt Lake. I do want to see Salt Lake come back, but I kind of just, like, with Heather at this point, she obviously isn't paying attention to what we say because she's dragging us all down on there. And, of course, the same argument with Lisa Barlow, Jen Shaw, who's the better friend, and Whitney's like, of course, Heather thinks that Whitney wants to be friends with Lisa, so she can't be friends with Heather. And it's like, Heather just doesn't understand that that's not the case. Like, everybody can be friends, but she feels like she has to choose. Not that Heather didn't choose Jen Shaw over everybody, obviously. You know what I mean? But exactly what the hell Heather is hiding for Jen Shaw, or why she's hiding the whole black eye thing. Even Andy said that she thinks that she gave her the black eye. And even if she did, I don't understand why she's protecting her. What does that even have to do with the slice of bread? Like, who gives a shit? She's already going to get sentenced what she was getting sentenced to. And everybody seems to think that Heather has something on Jen Shaw. So that's why she's protecting her. And it's like everybody was arguing about who's the better friend to the convicted felon. And the convicted felon that drags the hell out of all of you is not your real friend. And it's going to not be there anymore in a couple things anyway. But when they get to that dinner at nighttime, so they come to the dinner at nighttime, and Giselle and the shapes that gave in perfect conflict, of course. They want to share their best and worst impressions from the day effectively. It ignites attention to the group from the start because, of course, Giselle is like reasonably shady. And I don't understand it, but of course, it's like, what else are they going to do? But the hands wasn't that bad, but they say who is their worst and who is their best. So who do they expect, less out of or more out of? And oh, that's right. Alexia and Marcel are good too, actually. I feel like they fit in really good, Alexia and Marcel. I mean, it takes a little while for them to like get used to everything, but it's so hot in Thailand that like they're used to that, so they definitely like again, they're in Thailand and it's nice and hot there and not they're in this place. So I guess anywhere they're gonna be is gonna be fun, is gonna be better. And then Pepsi. Now at first when they were talking about Pepsi, I really thought that Pepsi Cola was like um sponsoring the show or sponsoring the trip. I had no idea that Pepsi was an actual man, a person, and I love Pepsi. I think he's cool. He's a better butler than what Dorinda had in her house, and he's fixing everybody's cocktails. And the fact that he knows exactly what to mix Marisol, I think that she must have called ahead. But the classic vodka with a splash of orange. She says she drinks water most of the time, except for when she makes her coffee. And I think somebody was saying too that she's actually coming out with a what is it like a wine or something tequila line, a drinking something to do with alcohol. I mean, like she said, I don't have a problem. She said to Leah. Leah keeps saying shit to her about her drinking, and Leah said, "Look, like you have your stomach hurts if you don't drink by whatever." And then Marisol said, "Well, I'm not the one who had to quit drinking. You're the one that has the problem. So just leave me alone or keep me out of it." I agree. I mean, Leah's sitting there trying to say shit to Marisol about her drinking just because you quit and you're on a sober journey doesn't mean that everybody else is. But I feel like Real Housewives of Miami with like Alexia was almost like Teresa, almost like really, really shady, almost to the point of like mean girlish. But I think on this show she is redeeming herself. I think that she and Marisol have a really good friendship, and of course, like they speak Spanish, and it pisses Giselle off. But they're talking about like having a Spanish Miami accent, and Giselle says something like her daughter speaks fluent Spanish, and they always talk about her, so it triggers her or something. And I'm like, all right, Giselle, like I'm trying to like Giselle to redeem herself because after the reunion of Potomac, I was like, I could do without her, Robin, and Ashley. But I mean, I think she did all right again until she got to the point where she started talking about the situation and she doubled down back on it again. And it's like, okay, now you're really just that's it. Like after the reunion and then after this, she basically says it again and accuses Chris of whatever. Um, Alexia doesn't like Giselle asking a million one questions, and she says she's trying to avoid her life and talking about her life. And it's like, I wonder, like, do they even know about Pastor Holy Brewer or about the whole Chris situation? I don't know. They seem to think that it's like what everybody says about Giselle, that she's always thinking everybody else's life and never want to talk about her own. But again, like she said, what does she really have going on except for the situation with her health? Again, she kind of hit it, but I kind of understand that was like really serious. I mean, it wasn't like she went behind the paywall like her friend Robin did, you know. Um, and I guess because with Heather there being too Heather, she's like under pressure, so she's wanting to argue with all the ladies. She thinks that if she argues with the ladies, it means she has something important to say or they care about what she says. But I guess her and Whitney, this isn't going to be the vacation that they always said they were going to have, but they never get to escape the Mormon belt like they said. But Heather says she just learns about Jen's um, guilty plea 2 days ago, so she's fresh off the plane from that. Basically making herself sound like she's the victim, like she's Jen Shaw's biggest victim. I mean, so like the fact that she literally acts like she just found out that Jen Shaw was actually guilty. Not that she didn't think it the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like Jen Shaw knew she was guilty. She knew the whole time. We all knew she was guilty. The state of district of New York knew she was guilty, and of course, fucking Heather's not stupid. She knew she was guilty. Just because she just verbalized it in a court, like that's basically like paperwork. That's like technicality. That's all. You know what I mean? Like, so the fact that she's literally acting like she's so traumatized and devastated because Jen lied to her all this time. It's like, get over it. Nobody gives a fuck. You really are like really low in the totem pole about people that should care about Jen Shot lying to them. You're not really a victim, Heather, you know? But again, Heather's getting asked all about her black eye gate, and Whitney's not really saying too much until she's in the confessional, and she tells the story, like a fifth story about the eye. Heather thinks that she got up in the middle of the night and hit her eye on the cabinet that was over her bed or something like that. And then Whitney goes and grabs onto that and thinks that that's the actual real answer, and that Heather just gave some real some clarity to the situation about this whole black eye gate. Again, she told too many stories. She thinks that we should still be here, and we don't really care anymore. I keep saying I don't care, but like the show's kind of like running all around that freaking narrative. It's like there's an actual investigation, like an actual investigation, and if she really is letting that go that far, and she's still laughing about it and acting like we're like fucking with her or we're not, the fact that she also says, like, again, she read Leah's book and then wants her to still get drunk with her. Again, this is like this whole talk about sobriety on the show. It's a fine line. And I understand if you're in sobriety and you can hack being around it and you can be at the bars and stuff, and that's good. Like you can, that's good. But I really don't, people getting mad at other people, like bring up their sobriety and saying, oh, I quit drinking and now you have a problem because I quit, so everybody else has a problem. Like, that whole thing, at this point, you're on the Housewives show, there's going to be there's alcohol everywhere you go. The people that drink are going to be drinking. If you can't drink and you're that, you're sober and you can't really be around it, then you shouldn't be on the show. Not that any of these ladies said that, but, if you notice, Heather drinks from 5:30 in the morning all the way 5:30 at night and continues to drink again until 5:30 the next morning, and then wakes up and doesn't know how she has a black eye. It's like shocker, But I like that the show does, like, all these shows for Bravo does cover a lot of people's addictions and their recovery. I do feel bad they don't cover a lot of laws, but, when they're talking about the whole game that they were playing, and they said everybody just identifies Heather as the person who left the worst first impression. I mean, shocker, right? I think that Leah gave the worst first impression. And somebody also forgot to tell Leah that she no longer is a housewife. She doesn't have a show. There is no show called Roni. Did somebody forget to tell her that she's no longer a housewife? Because the way she sounds is like she's still a housewife, and it's her show. And the whole devastating story about her grandma was dying, and nobody told her grown ass woman that she was allowed to leave and go spend time with her dying grandma. That whole thing that she said threw her into a deep depression, because nobody at Ramona's house told her it was okay for Leah to go and be with her dying grandmother. I was like, okay, now I understand why. You're like, what was she, like a friend of for like a half a season? I mean, at this point, she's like Freddie Hellenkamp to me. Like, she's another Freddie Hellenkamp. I mean, I'm just saying, But again, is anybody listening to me? I don't think anybody's really in here. I just like the fact that this show, I think Portia's coming back, and I thought that she wasn't going to be back on reality TV. I do like the fact that Candace is there, and Giselle, and then who was supposed to be there from New York? And like with Leah, was there another cast member from New York that was supposed to be there? I feel like we're forgetting someone, but I mean, I just keep looking at Leah, and I don't understand kind of what she's doing there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess they filmed it right after, like, New York already ended, but I liked her for, like, literally the first season, and we also said there's no way she would have a second season curse like everybody does, and she did, and she ruined it, and I never thought we'd see her again, and here she is. And I like the fact that Portia is on the show because, like I said, we weren't supposed to see her again. She does clear up again that with Simon, it was actually Simon's wife that was cheating first. So, yeah, he was separated, not legally divorced. It doesn't make her a homewrecker. And then as we go into the confessionals, and every single one of them ladies admitted that they have no problem stealing another woman's man. Did you guys notice that? I was like, oh. And then, like, somebody else said it this message. I'm like, this isn't actually funny. I'm like, I know that happens, like, shit happens, but, like, they're actually admitting to that. But they'll be the first ones to call somebody a homewrecker. You know what I'm saying? But what else? I'm trying. That's episode 1. Is there anything else really? Oh, I love the fact that Marisol talks about her mom, and that like she told the story that when everybody first met her mom, she was nervous, and she knew that she didn't want people making fun of her mom's plastic surgery. And you guys know, if you guys watched it, Elsa was amazing, and everybody loved her. Bravo loved her. Andy loved her. The viewers loved her, and she passed away recently, like I guess within the last year. And Marisol, I just love when she talked about her mom. She says she feels her all the time, and it's like they show clips of her. It's a really good. It's good, and I love when she told that story because nobody knew that, but it was just really. It was really nice. It was sweet. She didn't want anybody to make fun of her mom's plastic surgery, but nobody did. Everybody loved her, but yeah. And I keep forgetting, like Marisol is a full-time housewife in Miami or no? I thought she was, but she was on. I mean, she was on enough, like more than Jackie is. What else we got going on? Yeah, I don't like the kind of conflict between Candace and Portia. It's kind of stupid. It goes all the way back to that show that they did for half a season, whatever the call-in one, whatever. Anyway, it goes back to that. Something that she said shady about her, about saying that Candace was suing Monique because she needed to buy her mom out from her house, which is crap. It's not, it's a little crap. But again, it's like content creators. That's what we do. We talk about the reality TV stars. We keep them relevant throughout the off seasons, and then we make money, and then they make money, and then we make money, and they make money. So, I mean, really. But now, again, right? What is it called? Fuck it Palace, and Fuck it Taiwan. It's so freaking beautiful there. I didn't realize that it was like as beautiful as it is. Like they have palm trees and the beach and all that crap. Like I thought they were gonna be like Bangkok, which is not even in Taiwan. But like, don't listen to me. I just think it's funny that they're in Fuck it Palace. like Leah said, 8 housewives, what could go wrong? Well, the fact that Leah's there and she doesn't have a friend there, that's kind of wrong. But she tells everybody that she got PMS because of them. So also the PMS on the same day as the elephant sanctuary, which I think is amazing. I want to go to an elephant sanctuary. I want to live with elephants. Like she said, who literally can be upset when you're around a bunch of elephants? Like, I want to go there. I can't even believe I've never been to one. But the fact that they go there is amazing. And they said that some of the elephants were saved from captivity, which that makes me sad. But I'm glad that they have them. Oh, here we go. Look at this guy. Hello, Kevin. Hello. See, I love it. Like, that's a friend that shows up for you. You know what I mean? He comes on, he busts me, but he busts on me. But yeah, Buster City. Will you stop saying that word? I don't know what town that is. You keep saying that word. I don't know where that is. Like, I don't know where that is. So stop doing that, mister. Kev, by the way, is there an elephant sanctuary around here? And if there is, can you go to it? I would like to go to one, please. Thank you. Please and thank you. Oops. They were getting massages and they were making all their sex sounds. And I don't think that Giselle sounded like, I don't know. To me, it wouldn't be me. You would need to fly there. I would. Oh, there isn't one around here. I can't fly though, Shay. You know that. I can. I just don't want to. I'm scared. Where is one? All right, guys, before I forget to, if anybody going to Zach's show in Philly on the 17th, no, 27th, 18th is Behind the Velvet Rope show in New York. But is anybody going to the Philly show? Let me know. I have extra tickets because 2 people backed out. So if there's anybody that's in the Philadelphia area, Jersey, let me know if you guys are going to go to Zach's No Filter Live show at the City Winery in Philadelphia. And then that is on the 27th, and then the week prior to that, which is next week, the 18th. I'm going back to New York, where we were for Adam's show, to see Behind the Velvet Rope with Lindsay. We're just going to take a ride for the day. That'll be fun. But anyway, if anybody's going to that, let me know. If anybody's going to Philly, let me know. Hello, and thanks for coming. I'm on the second episode of Ultimate Girls Trip. I wasn't going to recap every single segment, but I wanted to get to the part with Heather and the whole Mormon thing and the argument that she has about it with Whitney, and then actually yelled at Whitney and made it sound like Whitney took 15 years to decide to take her name off the list, when that's completely false. That it literally, they wouldn't do it. They would not approve it for that entire 15 years. And then she says, how dare you call me out? I'm only 1 year into this, it's going to take me 15 years to decide to take my name off the list or some crap like that. It was bullshit to me. Again, does anybody know if there's a tax write-off that she gets? Is there anything financially that Heather gains from staying on that list, even if she's not a practicing Mormon? What is the reason for her staying on the list? And does that make her still Mormon? I would say no if you're not practicing it. And so then why even bother having your name on that list? You know what I mean? And I got to plug in the battery, so I guess. So yeah, I forgot that I was going to look that up. I got to know, because if there's no financial gain to her being on the list, I don't understand why she's on it. Like, why still be on it unless you're still Mormon? All right. I know it's somewhere. Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? So somebody was saying there's a bunch of like tax write-offs or something that she would get. But to me, I don't know. I mean, the whole thing, her doing absolutely everything the opposite. I don't know what the difference was. I mean, you said that you're no longer Mormon. You don't practice Mormon. You do everything that they don't approve of. So just take your name off the list. Unless you're a liar, pants on fire. Stay where you're at, your girlfriend. Stay where you're at. Hold on, I gotta get back there. Oh, here it is. All right, guys, hold on, I'm coming. All right, so I know you guys can still hear me, but anyway, I don't know if she has any tax benefits to staying on it. I don't understand if she's just a liar, pants on fire, and it was for the book, the storyline. I don't know. Come on now. Come here. But to me, I don't like her freaking doing that shit to Whitney and acting like it, that there's a reason, or like she hemmed and hawed for 15 years when Whitney couldn't wait to get her name off the list. Okay, so why is that not working? Charger. Sorry, guys. I don't understand what's working. That's why. Okay. And then, if there's no financial gain for it, I don't know why she's still on it. I'm annoyed with her. I don't care about her book. I don't want to read it. I feel like giving into her like nonsense with all of this is just literally, like I said, like giving into it like a child that's throwing a tantrum and giving it life. I don't. If she goes back to the church, look, that's on her. But stop selling us on a crock of shit. I'll take that ride with you. I'll take the ride on the train, whatever train you're on. But don't make me feel like at the end of it I was on the wrong damn train. You know what I'm saying? Don't put me on the wrong train. And the way that she's treating Whitney is so not empathy, or she has no empathy. She has no self-reflection. I feel like she has no idea that what she did wrong, or not even if she doesn't think she did anything wrong, she won't even acknowledge that Whitney's feelings are valid. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when the elephant took a poop and it went into her mouth, it was kind of like telling her to shut up, stop talking, listen, and stop acting like you don't hear what this poor woman, what Whitney is saying. She's even trying to meet her halfway. And I feel like Whitney doesn't have to meet Heather halfway. I feel like Whitney has gone more than halfway, almost to the end of the line, where if she does any more, it's just going to be detrimental to her health and her in Whitney's journey, to heal from her, whatever's going on in her life. And when you have to whatever she was going through, and then also have to mourn a friendship that you were really they were really close, and it's she almost doesn't know who she is at this point. She's I don't even know who this person is. And she just said that Heather has definitely let the housewives go to her head. That's great. I mean, hey, who wouldn't let it go to their head? But you don't have to act like that. You really, if that's the case and you're so worried about your housewife's job, You should have paid attention to us and what we're saying and the fact that we ain't fucking with you no more with your stupid friggin' black eye, and nobody gives a shit. Like, and the fact that you're still literally ride or die for Jen Shaw blows my effing mind. Like, and at this point in time, in real time, Jen Shaw's away right now, so Heather is still not coming out here going, guys, I was a victim. Now that she's away, like she was threatening my life, or she was blackmailing me, or I was on her side because of this reason. I'm really not an asshole. Like, I really, I don't know what she could possibly say. They were all fighting over who was the better friend to her, and it just made no sense. I know, and you know what? I have no, I don't like to talk about religion, but the fact that she has like kind of proved what she calls them, what she says about the people in the church, she's kind of just like them. She doesn't care what you feel or say. It's what she says and what she wants done and the way she feels, and that's the end of it. And if you don't agree, it's hit the highway, right? Basically, that's why she left the Mormon church. She said she didn't like the rules and there was no leniency, and she wasn't happy. Like, it's and I know she's like Mormon royalty. To me, again, you say that you were basically on the way out. You were gonna, the only thing you were gonna try to do in life is hopefully not F up your children. Basically, making it sound like you leaving the church was like the end all be all. But then you get housewives and basically had your 15 minutes, and then you freaking ruined it. Like, you deserve to literally not be there. I mean, after this. I mean, honestly, like, if you were, and I don't, like I said, I don't care if you're Mormon or not, but don't sell us on a crock of shit. And I'll take the ride with you. Like I said, we'll all take the ride with you. We'll go and jump on that train with you. But don't make us feel like at the end of it, we're on the wrong damn train, Who said that? I forget who said that, but I just quoted somebody. Exactly. You're right. It's exactly it. Like, between that and hashtag justice for no nose pajamas, like, I don't know, man. This whole week has been it's been a lot. Like I said, this show, like Ultimate Girls Trip, basically is just a continuation of their seasons that just ended. So it's actually friggin' genius, But yeah. And Candace, I didn't realize that Candace was literally she's acting. I know she has a record, whatever. I know she is definitely with like on Trina's label, but I didn't know she was acting. She also is on another label. Like, I feel like looking at her, like, and telling her to like do exactly what Chris said. Give the show 5 years, get a platform, use it. She's doing it. She's an amazing performer. I, for one, would not go back to that that franchise if 2 other people are still going to be there. It just isn't. At this point, she's proved herself. She's got her education. She's more established than any of them at this point, because at the very beginning they said she was the least established one. She's now way more established, if any. And they tried to throw her husband into the Me Too movement and throw him under the bus. Again, I have no problem with that whole thing if you can tell me what he did. He actually did to make you feel uncomfortable. And if it's just a factor in that room together, you shouldn't have stayed and talked to him in the room. You should have exited the room. So she doubles down again. After she apologized for it, after she kind of could not even answer anybody's question, what did he actually physically do? Nothing. She tells the story and gaslights, not herself, but it's not the right word, gaslights. She tells the story and not in Chris's favor again. It doesn't tell the whole story, and as soon as Candace sees it, she's going to lose her shit. Now, we're only on episode 4, right? Everything's so far so good, Nobody's fist fighting. I mean, we have some arguments, we have some tears. We have a lot of housewives being there for each other, kind of like how Miami was. But fast forward to to the upcoming episodes, and there's all kinds of shit going down. I feel like, did we even hear all that? I mean, it's crazy. But let's see. Now, getting back to like literally the fact that Heather is. Where am I at? Oh yeah, the whole situation. Blah. Oh, talking about bad weather, saying that anybody would kill to be a part of bad weather, and that Whitney insists without the show that her and Heather's friendship would still be the same. Like, she would still have the same issues, and it has nothing to do with the show. And when Heather said that anybody would kill to be a part of bad weather, I really don't think so, Heather. I don't think anybody would kill to be the other half of bad weather if you're the other half. You know what I'm saying? Like Whitney, it's more like Whitney says. It's like right now, basically, they can just use that as merch, you know. But I just feel like she didn't pay attention to all of she can't read the Bravo room. You know what I'm saying? She can't read a room, and she definitely didn't read this room because they're all over Bravo's room. Because, like I said, we ain't fucking with you no more. We ain't fucking with your back eye. Please stop with it. Like, make it end. I don't want to hear about it. It's like the whole Erica situation, you know? But, oh, and then what did Marisol say about Adriana? I feel bad for Adriana. The only thing I'm going to say bad about Marisol is I don't like the way they treat Adriana. I feel like they really are mean to her. And they said that she was jealous because she didn't get picked to be on the show. And I feel like I think we should move on to episode 3. Where are we at here? Is there anything? Oh, the Ladyboy thing. Oh my God! After the elephant thing, that was awesome. The show, I loved it. Candy Gill. Oh, Candy. I don't know why my notes say Candy Gill. Her does that one just down. Oh, she signs the names. That was cool. I mean, the fact that she did that, she said she does it because it's like it helps her with her anxiety, and it just, kind of like it just breaks the ice kind of thing. Where, on the other hand, Giselle says, well, if you're really you really want to make a good impression, no. Portia said it to her the next day. Then why would you give us shady with nicknames if you're trying to make a good impression in your anxiety? I disagree. I think that that's just her way of dealing. And again, everybody was having a really honest moment, and she was saying, I feel some type of way too. I just don't show it. I get nervous. I didn't want to come here. I felt being far away from home, blah, blah, blah. That was an honest moment. But, her pettiness on Twitter is what she says is her biggest issue. And I agree. But again, she doesn't need the show. She's an awesome singer. She's an awesome performer. And that's it. So we already addressed the thing with Portia and how she brings up the chat room thing and says that she didn't have her back, blah, blah, blah. And she tells a story about Fallon and how Fallon was actually cheating on Simon, and he had hit Portia up during their separation, and she just said, hey, pray for you, something like that, and then the rest was history. And I feel like I said this before, that I feel like when we saw them together, that they were definitely in love, and I feel like even though he was married a couple times and he was hurt by what his wife had done, whatever, I feel like that they are actually in love. And when she was talking about going through postpartum on the show, and then Dennis did what he did, I think she deserves it. And, like she said, I didn't think I was coming back to reality TV after what happened with my show, her show with all that stuff that was going on. But I think that it was long overdue, and I'm glad that she was there. And hopefully she still comes back. And then Leah, again, talking about a Real Housewives show that she forgets that she's no longer on. Like I said, they forgot to call Leah and tell her that it was canceled. Nobody told Leah that running was canceled, and she is no longer on a show called The Real Housewives of New York. And I think it's been years. So, your show does not exist, and you are no longer a housewife, Leah. You were a half a housewife. You had a half apple, from what I remember. But, again, she mentions her season and her show like it's in real time, like it's present. But, let's see. Whitney works. Oh, when Leah was telling the story about her grandma. Yeah, again, blamed it on production. Again, your grandma's dying. I don't think Bravo really, at that point, I don't think anybody even cared about her at that point. I think she was pissing everybody off. And I don't think anybody would stop her from going home. Yeah, she's definitely on pause. She's on permanent pause. Hey, I feel like, I don't understand what she's doing there. I think maybe they had done it because they figured she might be coming back at one point. But it's been so long that nobody really cares. It's not that it's nothing wrong with her. She's just another Freddie Hellenkamp. It's it's just not working. And like, look, we're a hard bunch, man. We really are. Like, we're really hard on new people, and it takes people like seasons to get accepted, and it just didn't happen. Unfortunately, she was on a show with Ramona, and and Sonia, and all these women that were mean to her. And again, I don't want to see on my TV anymore, because with the whole drinking thing, I think Sonorita is no fun, Sonorita, when you're half naked on a show, and it looks like your mental health suffers from it. And I feel like that show with them, with Roni, was just going to be detrimental to them ladies if they had to go through another season of it. Because if you look at like this with Sonia, right? When we met her, she was still reeling from her divorce. She felt very outcasted by New York society, and like she had the name. She was no longer his wife, and whatever he was. What did he own? Whatever he owned, banks, whatever. Um, so she feels like she had no, like, she was like outcasted, and then she gets on a show. It becomes extremely popular, one of the most popular franchises, one of the most popular housewives, and it lasts for what, 5 years, like a good 5 years. And then it's because of the show. It eventually, you're going to have a bad season. It happens to everyone. It's just a rite of passage. But that also being like the rejection from the community, just like how we get like the rejection all over again, is just basically reinforcing what she already feels about her husband leaving her for a younger man. You know what I'm saying? And again, Sonia has never gotten over her divorce. And it was good when the show was, when you're on your high and everybody loves you, but as soon as they turn on you, it's so dangerous, and it's so like unhealthy. And it got to the point where it wasn't cute. She was dancing naked, she was breaking things, her friends are telling her about herself, and then it just wasn't cute. And I felt really, really bad. And she says that she sobers up during the off season. That's all well and great, but the way you're acting on camera is the problem. This isn't off season. We're talking about how you get on camera. I don't care if you detox when you're not on camera. I mean, I care, but we're talking about on camera. To me, if that's what's happening, I don't think you should drink on camera either. But anyway, that was a little kind of whatever. So out to dinner, oh my God, when they're out to dinner, and Leah is listening to the story about Alexia, about her recounting the story about her ex-husband. If you guys haven't saw it, when he was having an affair, and then he passed away, and then she found out that he was having an affair with a gay man, or he was gay, which she says, look, he loved me, he loved my soul, whatever. I get that. I understand, and I think that's awesome that she was able to accept it afterwards. And I wanted to hear the story, but then you have unimportant Leah saying, oh my God, this is so boring. I'm bored. I'm bored. In the middle of the story being told, like, so rude, and like kind of just Noelle-ish, the way Noella was acting to Heather, kind of just like, what are you doing? Like, nobody, that's ignorant. And again, I thought the story was interesting, but if you're really that bored and then says, can't you guys just like get drunk or something? I mean, you're making fun, you're saying Marisol, making light of the fact that she drinks all day and acting like she might have a problem because you're on a sobriety thing, which is great. And then say, oh, come on, guys, why don't you guys all get drunk? Like, I mean, I would have just stuck with can you guys get drunk on board? And then I would have just said that and not the other thing, because you're just kind of like stupid. Actually, I wouldn't say that at all, but what is so fun about once your friends get drunk? Absolutely nothing. Not when you're sober. Trust me, it sucks. But yeah. Of course, Marisol was really mature about it when she actually said that Alexia's story was boring. Marisol kind of called her out, and it was like pretty boring. I know, like we would have made a fortune. Like, we would have been the first original Jersey Shore cast, definitely. Because if we would have just put some cameras up in them shore houses, like, it's still kind of like that. That just reminded me of Jennifer Aiden using the same sheets as the shore house that she allegedly bought, that we saw on the boardwalk, that was literally on the boardwalk, where it was probably rented to people like us, the Jersey Shore cast, for about 15 years straight, and she used the same mattresses and the same sheets. And Mars. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think we just did 3, right? 4. And then tomorrow comes out the 5th one, right? Yeah. I just feel like this. It's just I was so not for the when this Ultimate Housewives, or what did they first call it in the very beginning? They were going to call All Stars, right? I was like, this is a joke. I thought it was going to be, a joke. I thought that they were all going to be a joke, and we were just going to be like, oh, like throw them a bone type of deal, like Andy's throwing them a bone. But it is better than half of the franchises, I believe, because they're like, I didn't think you could reignite. Well, not these ladies because they're not ex-housewives, but I didn't think you could reignite these women's careers. The one on during the season, and he kind of did. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with Brandy at the moment. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a new episode of Housewives and Headlines podcast coming out tomorrow, and usually get it on Saturday, but we're going to just drop it early. Housewives and Headlines. What was I saying that for? Anyway, something just came up that made me think of that. Housewives and Headlines podcast. If you can go on Spotify and Apple and rate us, please 5 stars. Also subscribe to it. It's doing good, and it will be out tomorrow. And I forget what I just said that had something to do with Housewives. Anyway, it's amazing. Oh yeah, we were talking about a story on there. Anyway, it's really, really, really good. I think I haven't seen an Ultimate Girls Trip yet that was not good. I eat every word of what I said last year when they were first airing it. I was like, this is a joke. Like, this is not gonna, like, this is not happening. And it wasn't. We talk about OC and we talk about Brandy and the allegations of her being on OC and being on Bravo after they're not done the investigation with Caroline. So, we talk about it on the podcast as well. But where are we at? So they go wild on the trip. The fact that nobody was talking about who gets what room, fighting about rooms, because I feel like we always waste about 2 weeks on, them fighting about the rooms when they go on their trips. The fact that they talk about Miami saying, she said, talk to me. We've been on TV for 12 years or something like that. Miami, Alexia. She's being a little cocky about that, and they haven't been on that long. But she is right. They're like really gold. Like, she's right. They took their franchise and reignited it and made it a completely. I think Miami is number one. I feel like is the number one franchise right now for me anyway, and she has every right to brag about it because the fact that they took their franchise and reignited it and made it a number one franchise in the whole entire Bravo community it says something. And I feel like that just proves that we don't need maybe a dirty scandal like Dirty Little Lenny, liar, liar, pants on fire, cheater, eater, pumpkin eater guy. That was kind of sick, but it's great that we got to watch Lisa have a bunch of women that actually band around her, like Alexia and Marisol, instead of dogging her and actually like rolling you back over with the bus they just ran you over with. When, God forbid, you show a little sign of blood and they taste your blood, and it's like, if they cut your, they slice your neck off, like they slice your head off. And these women, they actually banded around her, and it made that season made it really amazing. And not that it was like fun to watch Larsa die about her butt and all, but the fact that Larsa even made kind of a comeback, like they definitely bragged about it, and I feel like they have every right to brag about it. I'm talking about the feet too on OnlyFans, and Marisol her barefoot, and the things that people do on OnlyFans for money and feet. And then again, I could have gone the rest of my life never looking at her foot. Where else? We already talked about that. Chat room stuff. Yeah. So yeah, Heather Whitney's relationship on the argument on the yacht. Heather keeps saying to Whitney, "Oh, let's just move on. Let's just forget. Let's agree to disagree and just have fun and act like it didn't happen." And Whitney's like, "But it did, and I'm still hurt, and you still don't acknowledge that I am." And Whitney's trying. And I feel like at this point, she's already telling Whitney that the only reason you did this was because you needed a storyline and you would rather be friends with Lisa because Lisa's cooler than me. And, you literally basically have everybody turned against me on this trip. And it's all Whitney's fault. Nobody has a mind of their own on the trip, and they had to listen to Whitney to make a decision. Is what basically Heather's saying, that nobody on this trip has a mind of their own, and they can't make their own decisions about whether they like Heather or believe her or not, because she's blaming Whitney for the whole trip not believing her about her black eye and about the story and why they are no longer as close as they were. And it's just a matter of the fact that they had a friendship break, and Whitney needed an emotional friendship break from her, and Heather didn't notice they were on a friendship break. And that's one of the biggest problems with the whole thing. Like, if you don't notice your friend has taken a break from you, and then when you do notice and it's pointed out to you, you still don't fucking understand, I feel like at this point Whitney has to stop trying and just I don't know, accept, but like, take a step back, wait till they start filming again. Heather's not gonna she's not going to see anything that she's done wrong. I mean, she definitely doesn't see what she's done wrong. She doesn't feel like she's done anything wrong. And I feel like until that happens, I don't understand. Like, there's no reason for them to still even be arguing about it and making us have to go through it. You know what I'm saying? And then also we have Mary coming back too, and Mary doesn't take any of their shit, and she'll just tell them both to shut up and to get over it, because at least they're not going after Justin. Like Heather said that Justin lost his job and that Whitney was worried, that's why she did this. But I feel like they would be going after Justin like they went after Mary. If we had, like I said, suspected anything or tasted a tiny bit of his blood, and it didn't, and we were looking at him sideways or some shit, we would have been on top of it. We would have known by now. And Heather's talking out her ass, because we didn't really wasn't really a storyline at all. It was like one episode. So all the reasons that Heather keeps coming up with about why Whitney was faking this whole fight with her and it doesn't have real feelings, it's like, yeah. And who else also actually they always never well, I don't know if they never admit that they're wrong, but if you think about it, Katie Maloney on Vanderpump Rules, she has never ever been wrong. According to Katie Maloney and according to Heather Gay, in an argument, in any friendship fight that we've ever seen, I feel like there's never been a time where either one of them have said, "You're right, I'm wrong, and I'm sorry that I did that," and there's no but, or there's no but after that. I'm sorry, but, or I'm sorry I made you feel that way. No, none. Not from Katie Maloney and not from Heather Gay. And they're talking about the Reasonably Shady podcast again, and how that Robin should be on this trip. And I feel like, God damn it, if they would put Robin on this trip, I keep saying that I was making fun of the show at first, and these women were going to just literally fail. I feel like Robin needs to be punished, and Robin deserves to not be on this trip, nor in front of our cameras again. I feel like those two, basically, they needed each other. They needed backup on the show. At this point, Robin has gone too far for me. I just feel like you sucked to begin with. You were a good ride or die when Giselle needed you, but the fact that you took your serious allegations against your stupid husband and tried to turn it around and make it seem like you're smart and that this asshole didn't actually cheat on you or whatever. He just went and paid for some rando's hotel room. Never to me. If that's the case, you dumb. Why did he tell you or bring you with him? If it was so innocent, why did you have to find out about it months and months later? And again, you told us all that he was having some kind of sexual relationship through Instagram with her, an inappropriate relationship. So then why would she come here and tell him, "Oh, I'm sleeping with this one, and I lost my wallet. I'm sleeping with so-and-so, but can you come pay for my hotel room because I lost my wallet in the casino?" Not calling the guy that you came here to screw, the rando that came here to screw, Juan. You know what I'm saying? So Robin, you dumbass, again, I feel like Robin knows that he's lying, and she just wants us to believe that she believes him, because to me, I don't believe him, and I feel like Giselle didn't believe him either, and she should be demoted. Because I don't know what's going to happen. I was going to say she's going to just start a goddamn podcast, but she already did. She's going to get demoted, and it's still going to be literally, she'll probably try to shove Ron down our throats now, because now he doesn't have a job, and that's allegation number 2. Like the first allegation of him being a cheater, Peter Pumpkin Eater, whatever, that's housewives rules, whatever. I can't fire him for that. But the fact that he was in that scandal with his coaching thing, and she tried to tell us at the reunion that he was working. How was he working? He was suspended, right? He was suspended this whole time with pay, and then literally 2 days after reunion, he got fired. Yeah. The excuses are like, they're literally, I mean, honestly, he went and paid for her hotel room because she lost her wallet at the casino because she randomly came here from Canada, and she was screwing another guy, but not Juan. But when she lost her wallet, she didn't even call the guy. She called him up. And again, if you're just paying for some rando's hotel room because she lost her wallet, why did you bring your wife with you? Don't you think you should tell your wife if that's the case so she doesn't think something else? Again, you're not smart, Robin. So I don't know who you're trying to sell your shit to, because I mean, Andy wasn't buying it either. And the fact I said it when she called him from the thing with Karen, saying that Karen saw you, blah blah blah, and he starts flipping out on Robin, like him getting so mad. I was like, that reaction was fucked up. I'm like, yo, he's doing something. Something's up, right? And it was way, way worse than we thought. You know, it's like that was the first case of me like saying, fire me the hell, fire me now, because first it's Sandoval, like, oh my God, and then Juan Dixon again. Who are these people? Because I could have swore to God that Juan Dixon did get caught cheating the first time that he was with Robin, and that he spent like 20 years trying to make it up to her, and he would never do something that stupid again, right? I could have. I thought Karen was off her rocker. I thought it was funny, and when she sold us on the shit and we found out what he's really up to, I'm like, man, okay. And then Sandoval happened, and I'm like, man, I am not like. I'm 0 for 2 at this point. I've been sticking up for Sandoval for like 15, 20 years. The whole time. It's like, it was like the third person. I was like, holy shit, man, I am a really bad judge of character. There was a third one. But I can't really say it. So where are we at here? Oh, okay, yeah, when we get to the point, okay. When we get to the end of the episode, that's where we start talking about Whitney voluntarily entered into the confessional the list of lies that Heather has told. And I was like listening to her list, and I said, holy shit, she's right. As much as I couldn't stand Whitney when she was going after Meredith, why weren't you in the Sprinter van? I was like, oh my God, nitwit, wow. I was like, that girl should not be drinking. I don't want to hear her voice. I don't want her to chase people around saying, why weren't you in the Sprinter van? You must have been calling the feds. It's just as bad. I mean, I was, for about 2.2 seconds, I was on her side. I was on Heather's side at the very beginning when Whitney tried to make her admit that she was in on getting, she heard the rumor, the allegation from the Salt Lake thing. What's her name? The chick that was at the giving blowies for the seats at the Lakers. Lisa was giving blowies for courtside seats at the Jazz. But apparently, whoever told said that girl, whatever, what's her name? I forget her name, Marnie. Wow, that's crazy. But in the very beginning, and she was trying to get like Heather to admit that she heard it. I was like, no, like Heather doesn't have to admit to that, especially like if she's not even if she isn't lying, if she didn't know that rumor or she didn't hear that. And like at first, I was like, Whitney, stop! Like no, Whitney, like no. And then come to find out that it really actually was a thing. Not that Whitney should have said it, but like. I understand why she was mad at Heather. I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't, but it turned into her finding out that Heather really is a bad friend, whether she was wrong about wanting Heather to admit that she knew that Lisa gave blowies for courtside seats at the Jazz, or did or didn't. The fact that she wanted her to lie for her in the very beginning sucked. But then after that, there's so many other reasons why her and Heather, should not be no longer be friends. Just the way she handled the whole situation. Episode 4, we have. Oh, what the hell? Nothing good. I mean, the fact that we're coming up to it's the middle of the season, and the next couple episodes, there's like an ambulance and a fight, and yeah. Oh, Marisol does have she has a what's it called in her stomach, or can't drink, an ulcer. Well, it's really the fact that she has an ulcer, that's painful. But let's see, Portia takes it. Yeah, something about whatever. That was Alexia. See, Alexia saying they paved the way. I agree. They paved the way this time for other franchises to take a page out of Miami's book, and even Ultimate Girls Trip book. We don't need criminal activity for our franchises to be successful. They were successful for 13 years before Teresa went to prison. And to be honest, we didn't even watch the show because she went to prison. The only reason we literally watched it when she came home. But the fact that when Jen Shaw left Salt Lake, we're like, oh yeah, but now it's gonna fail. It's gonna fail now. Like, you guys all suck. Like, if there's no criminals for us to watch, this show is not gonna last. And I think that Miami proved that those shows do last because we again had 13 years prior to that with no criminal activity. And again, Erica still being on Beverly Hills, from what I hear, nobody likes her. The fact that they're still shoving her down our throats. I feel like that is going to basically, it's not going to keep the show going at this point. We're going to be more not watching it if Erica continues to be on the show, and we have to continue listening to her stupid this one and that one, like leaving the old man at the bottom of a cliff and whatever. She didn't know. It's like, I don't care if she knew, don't care if she didn't know. I don't like the fact that she is still on the show and Lisa Rinna's not there, and her and Dorit are fighting because that means we're going to have to hear Dorit. And I feel like the next Ultimate Girls Trip 5 is going to be them. It's going to be some of them, and it's going to make me crazy. Yeah. So, yeah. Pepsi's awesome. We already said that, right? Yep. Not many other knots here. Mardi Gras. Anybody? There's not very many people here, guys. Sorry. I'm kind of all over the place when I do these recaps. But it's hard for me without notes. I have notes, but it was hard for me before without notes. But I mean, the main things that I just can't stand anymore, I don't want to talk about, is Heather's stupid black eye. I feel like if you're not going to pay attention to what we're saying, then you don't deserve to be on the show. She's probably going to be done after probably the next season of Salt Lake City. I like the fact that we have this Ultimate Girls Trip, and oh hi Erin, and that I feel like it reignites their careers. And yes, Teresa, we can talk about Teresa for a second, because it's very rare that I have anybody agree with me. But I am agreeing with you. I feel like not, and I'm gonna put it out there. I don't even think it's gonna be because Bravo does it. I don't think Teresa is gonna. I think Teresa is gonna leave on her own. I think that she's going to get something. She's gonna get annoyed. I don't know. She's gonna off the cuff quit the show, act like she doesn't need the show. Whatever happens in the next end of the Jersey season, whatever happens, I feel like if anybody's gonna go, it's gonna be her, and I feel like it'll be her choice, and then she'll regret it. And I feel like it's going to be because her and Louis, we saw a little glimpse of what goes on behind closed doors when he yelled at her the other night, right? Imagine if he's at home and there's no cameras. She did not, when he yelled at her in front of everyone and made her look like a liar and that she was wrong, she wanted to freaking knock him out. She wanted to lose her shit, but she didn't want us or anybody to see them pop the love bubble. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's going to be more of that's going to happen, and she's not going to want the cameras there to see her love bubble get popped, and she's going to quit the show or leave the show, because there's no way that she's going to let us see any more of that, because we already saw a glimpse of what her and Louis must go through at home, because like I said, her well doesn't run that deep, and I feel like he's trying to explain common sense to her. Like if you ever listen to her and her confessionals, it's kind of like when I tell you a story, it takes me forever to get to the whole point. But when Teresa tries to explain something, she doesn't know how to, because she doesn't have real feelings, and she doesn't process feelings to explain why she's in a fight or mad at somebody for something or what she's upset about. When she tries to explain it, it's either what everybody else tells her she's supposed to be mad at in the whatever about her brother, or it's like getting her to admit that it's anything other than Melissa's fault or Joe's fault or whatever. It's like Teresa hasn't done anything wrong either. Again, that's right. Teresa doesn't do anything wrong. Katie Lenny doesn't do anything wrong, and Heather Gay doesn't do anything wrong. And was anybody skinny dipping? Why do I have notes saying skinny dipping here? Yeah. The fact that, oh God, yeah. I feel like also when Heather sees the confessionals from Whitney, that's going to be another whole thing that she's going to try to bring it into the next filming of the next, when they start filming for Salt Lake, which is pretty soon, or did they already start filming? They probably did, and right, so after Thailand, yeah, I feel like she's going to drag it out and piss us off, and probably drag it right back onto the other one. Yeah, she lives in her own world, I gotta give her credit. I kind of do too. But when I live in my own world, it's usually by choice, and I'm still self-aware. And I react like Teresa, and that's why I would explain her behavior, not agree with it. I would be Team Teresa last year, because when she warned you to stop saying a certain, telling you to shut up and stop talking about this certain thing, and you don't, and you want to continually tell somebody to shut up about it, I understand why she has her reactions the way they are, because I'm the same way. This is the difference. I have literally, I have self-awareness where I feel like shit. I feel instantly bad, and I apologize right away. Usually I go back, and not that it makes it right, because it's like I'm always apologizing. It kind of takes away from any apology I ever give, because it's like you're just going to do it again. I try. I'm not going to sell you on some shit like she does. It says, I'll tell you I'm in therapy and it's going to work and blah, blah, blah. No. I have reactionary issues, okay? And Teresa is also the same way, and she'll never let anybody see her love bubble get popped. But imagine what he says to her at home when he doesn't agree with what she says, because what she says doesn't make any sense, And it just, yeah. And when the Ultimate Girls Trip was with her, and when Melissa was with her, that was 2, right? They were getting along then. There was no issues then. And then all of a sudden, and also she had no issues with Melissa and Joe when she invited them to the wedding. Again, we don't know what the whole problem is, but the fact that I think if anybody goes, it's going to be Teresa. It's going to be because Louis popping the love bubble, and she already went on Ultimate Girls Trip, so that's not going to save her to come back. And did you guys see anything about Dina today in social media? Did something, or Dina made a comment, or something about Dina? Oh, I know, it's running over an hour, but yeah. I did do the schedule. I'm coming back tomorrow. Is tomorrow Housewives? I'm doing Jersey tomorrow, and Friday Vanderpump Lives. And I'll definitely put the thumbnails out and links to the thing. Yeah, she does, and I really want Erica to definitely go on one Ultimate Girls Trip. That's it. Not that she'll redeem herself in my eyes, but I don't know. Ultimate Girls Trip to me is awesome. It's definitely it's as good as Dorinda's, if not better. So if you guys haven't seen it, definitely start watching it, because I started watching it last week, and I watched all 4, and then the 5th one was out, right? Or is that today? It's tomorrow. There's 4. Yeah, I watched all 4 at once. And then tomorrow's Thursday, so it'll be out tomorrow. But I'll be doing Jersey tomorrow. And I don't know if Gabby will be coasting with me, but if anybody wants to do Jersey with me tomorrow, let me know. I find it's better if I recap Jersey with actually somebody on here with me. I don't go off of my rants, and I don't get too far off the beaten track, and I stick to the subject, because somebody will bring me back to it. Is Aaron still here too? I would love to do Jersey with Martinis with Eddie, but I that's probably never going to happen. But I am still going to support. So if you guys don't follow Martinis with Eddie's podcast or on YouTube, please go follow him, and go check his recaps out. He's funny. He's really funny. He's from Jersey, and he has the same humor as me. But I've been trying to collab with him, but I've asked him twice. He's not being very. He's not responding, and I feel like I made him mad. And so if anybody does actually watch his lives or DMs him or is friends with him, can you guys like put a good word in for me and tell him that I'm sorry? And if he's mad about that situation, I feel like I definitely cited his podcast. I mean his Jersey interview when I was tearing apart the person he was interviewing. I wasn't tearing apart. I was just responding to her responses to his interview questions. I was just curious. I had questions, and I think he got upset with me over it. Which again, I made sure that I linked his link to it, made sure people followed him, made sure I said that I am not picking him apart. I'm picking apart her, the interview person. He was even annoyed with the girl. But again, if anybody follows him, please tell him I'm sorry. And then we would have such a ball because watching him talk about Bravo, it's like literally he's the male version of me with a Spanish accent. And it's funny as hell. He's like so Jersey. But yeah, did I miss any really important points about Ultimate Girls Trip? We talked about Leah, talked about Heather Gay, Mormon, not Mormon, bad Mormon. She did at one point say, well, hey, my book is called Bad Mormon. It says basically I'm still a Mormon, I'm just a bad one. That's not what you said to us. So again, don't double down on it with that excuse, because that again is like telling us that your black eye came from the cabinet over your bed. You were so wasted that you kept hitting your eye on the cabinet, and that's how you got the black eye. Again, I don't care how you actually got it. I kind of got so mad that I wanted to just blacken the other eye and just say, hey, I did it. But yeah, whether the Pope did it, Jen Shaw did it, or I don't know, fucking Santa Claus did it. I don't really care anymore. I don't care who did it. I don't care how she got it. And I don't want to hear about it again. Okay? Black Eye Gate turned into like Cliffgate and Cheating Gate and Stripper Gate. And I feel like we basically have to use our own moral judgment and decide whether we think Erica did it new or not, whether we think Jen Shaw did it or not, whether we think, Cliffgate, if she was leaving him for dead, if Melissa was actually a stripper and Teresa was right. And then fast forward to Cheating Gate, did she or didn't she? Who knows? But I feel like when we talk about Jersey tomorrow, I want to try to talk about Danielle and that situation and just move the narrative along. But Danielle doesn't understand that they've been handing her goddamn 15 minutes and she's not running it. She's not taking the bait and running with it. So, yeah, like those women are so tired and exhausted from Melissa and Teresa. They are begging Danielle to tell us about her damn brother and why he blocked her, It's like they're actually even panning over to the women, and the women are shaking their heads because they're even thinking, is this girl an idiot? We are literally making the storyline. We're handing her a storyline, and they're actually handing her all the fluff with it. They were even making it a huger thing than it has to be. And what'd she do? She acts like a freaking 12-year-old about it. Oh, I'm gonna like run around and she runs, she stomps her feet and says, that's it, and I'm not talking about it, and you're a bunch of disloyal bitches. And I feel like she thought that was going to be her 15 minutes, when really, no, that's just how we all communicate here. So that's nothing to anybody there. We want to know exactly what actually happened. And if there isn't anything more, make something up, please. They're begging you, they're handing you the 15 minutes, okay? I don't want to hear about No-No's pajamas. Hashtag justice for No-No's pajamas, please. Being hashtag for us. Because I don't care what she says. They were actually No-No's dirty pajamas that Louis wears. And if anybody wants to literally say, well, no, she said they're a new pair, why would a new pair of pajamas make anybody feel safe? That's just a random pair of pajamas that this dude's wearing. To make you feel safe, they'd have to be the ones that No was actually in, and they actually saw him for a long period of time, and that would trigger safety, loving, and safety. I forget, comfort and love, and make them feel safe, and whatever he says. And I say, I don't feel safe. I don't hand up over here. Don't feel safe. Okay, Louis? That is some Norman Bates shit. And I don't feel safe. I don't know how anybody else would feel safe. According to Teresa, they're a random pair of pajamas that No had in a drawer and never wore them. They were brand new. But somehow these random pair of pajamas that Louis wearing, they remind everybody of No-No's pajamas because I don't know what. Maybe they look like a pair you might wear. I don't know. Something about these random pajamas makes them feel comfort warm and safe. The only way that would be, that would never be actually, even if they are no-nose pajamas, that still wouldn't make me feel comforted and safe. I think that you're Norman Bates, and why are you wearing my dead grandpa's pajamas and a man that you've never met, and you've been in my family for 2 years, and again, I don't understand the whole safety thing, warm, comforting, and safe, because to me, that's freaking weird, even if they are no-nose pajamas. This random dude that my mom just married is trying to freaking tell me that I'm going to feel safe and warm when you wear my dead grandpa's pajamas. Just saying. Teresa, say what you want. It doesn't make sense. Your dude, and he didn't say to get under Joe's skin, because we didn't even get to see what Joe's reaction was. Well, we saw Joe's face. He was quite confused. But we didn't get to see the actual reaction, and I think there's a reason why we didn't see the actual reaction that he had. And yeah, so that just got off the fucking. I just went left real fast, didn't I? I didn't even end this Ultimate Girls Trip and start talking about Jersey. Yeah, I thought this would be longer. I thought Ultimate Girls Trip would go on longer because it was 4 episodes. But hello. There's nobody watching at this point. Thanks everybody that came and stayed, and who's here. Hey Twitter, hello. Oh, hello Facebook too. Hey Cal. And I see all of you Twitter people. Yeah. So tomorrow, I'm just going to keep talking about Jersey tomorrow, and Friday Vanderpump, and yeah. So thanks for coming, thanks for joining, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Can you guys like, comment, subscribe? Oh wait. Everybody say goodbye to this. Let's talk about right here. Oh, here she is. Say goodbye to everyone. Say bye. Tell everybody how much you love your mom. No kisses, please. Mama kisses. Say hi, everyone. Say hi. Let's say, or say bye, I should say. And say, what do you think about Jersey? What do you think about Teresa? Is that your favorite? She's your favorite. Teresa, your favorite. Yeah, I know. What do you think about Erica? Tell everybody what you think about Erica. She's like, Mom, I don't really care. Can we just go chill? All right, guys. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for sticking by me. Thanks for all the replay crew, guys. You guys, you don't really show up in my lives, but you show up later. I appreciate it. And what did I say? Oh, Housewives and Headlines. There'll be a new one out tomorrow. Plus, we'll have another bonus episode for you this week. And please follow that podcast. It is not on YouTube. It is on podcast sites. And this also. Follow, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, say everybody. Say bye, everyone. Where's she at? Say bye. Oh, say bye, everyone. Oh. Say bye. She's like, Mom, I'm trying. There, Mom. Let me say. Let everybody say bye back. Where's she at? Here's she. Say bye, everyone. Say, like, I'm trying to shoot my lap. What are you doing? Judge a cat, she's Judge a cat. Okay, guys. Yeah, I'm talking to myself. Bye, guys. Thanks for showing up. Judge a cat.